What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we set up Emerald over here. We made ourselves our first mystical agriculture seeds, and we've been collecting a decent amount of Emerald Essence. Now, since last episode, I did AFK for a while, and we got a lot more of this Emerald Essence than what we see here. That's been since I last collected it. So that has allowed us to make a lot of emeralds, so we can make a lot of upgrades for our storage drawers. Yeah, and we got a lot more storage, but we don't have all of our storage drawers filled to the capacity with those emerald upgrades, so we are gonna be growing these emerald seeds for a little bit of time here. Now, what I wanted to do today is I wanted to start looking at getting ourselves some better power. Currently, our entire power supply is from these magnetic dynamos down here. Right, they're a Signalum version, so they're not quite maxed as far as like the maximum output they can do, but they're pretty good. And we got these upgrades in here and so on and so forth. I was looking at different options for fuel, and it looks like biofuel might be one of the easiest ways for us to currently generate unlimited amounts of power, right? So I was looking biofuel. So in order to make this, we need to make ourselves a bioreactor, but we can put in various different seeds into here and get 80 millibuckets of biofuel per seed. In fact, there's a lot of different items you can put in there. All these different dyes you can put in there, saplings, mystical agriculture seeds. There's a lot of pages of those. I was kind of going through and just making sure everything said the same, and it looks like they all do say 80 millibuckets. If you hover over this though, it says it can go up to 160 for the efficiency at maximum. I think, if I remember correctly, the more different items you have in a bioreactor, this is from MFR by the way, the more different items you have, the more efficient it is per item, but it still generates the biofuel at the same rate, I think. It's been a while since we've kind of explored biofuel from, I guess, either Industrial Foregoing or Mine Factory Reloaded, but I thought it'd be a kind of a cool thing to revisit that for this. Now, one of the things I thought was interesting, cotton seeds, for instance, I'm not going to find it in here, it'll take forever. Cotton seeds can be turned into biofuel. Now, why is that cool? Because when we were growing cotton before, the Pam's Harvest Craft stuff, we were getting not only the cotton seed, but we were also getting the cotton, right? So the cotton itself can be turned into more cotton seeds, which is more biofuel. So if we have a garden cloche set up that is specifically growing cotton, we have twice the amount of biofuel than a lot of other options, right? So I think that's probably going to be a pretty cool thing to do. We can set up a garden cloche specifically, or more than one, at least one garden cloche specifically to grow cotton, autocraft the cotton into more cotton seeds, and take the already generated cotton seeds that we're getting per craft, or I guess per harvest from the garden cloche, and turn that all into biofuel. I expect we're probably going to want a few garden cloches though, like this goes at a pretty decent rate between growth cycles. Oh, by the way, I did look up the different fertilizers. Bone meal apparently gives you a 1.25 modifier, growth modifier. The fertilizer from forestry gives you a 1.5, and apparently the best fertilizer you can put in there is the fluxed phytogrow, which gives you a 2.0 growth modifier, but that's a lot of work. Forestry fertilizer is pretty easy since we have a lot of appetite, right? So I think a 1.5 modifier is going to be pretty good. But anyway, I think that, yeah, getting a bunch of garden cloches set up, doing cotton seeds, going into one or more bioreactors, is it bioreactor? Yeah, a bioreactor to make the biofuel, and we can take that and put into the biofuel generators. So none of these things are super expensive. I was kind of going through and just taking a look at everything here. And I think we should be okay. Like the bioreactor itself is relatively inexpensive. It's just an iron block, some slime balls, plastic, fermented spider eye brick, sugar. Like there's nothing crazy here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make, I don't know, let's say 5 garden cloches, right? I do believe that was rather inexpensive. Glass, the vacuum tube, iron mechanical component, and treated wood plank. Let's make like 5 of those. We can make a whole lot more since they're relatively inexpensive, but let's start with 5. We will make, let's just do 1 bioreactor. I'll make it some kind of an auto crafting table thing so we can turn the cotton into cotton seeds, and let's just see where we're going from there. Now, as far as the biofuel, we have a couple of options that I'm aware of right now. There's the biofuel generator. Now, if we look at the book here, it says that 1 bucket will produce 160 RF per tick, but it'll make 640,000 RF, right? So that seems pretty good. So a little over 500,000 RF from 1 bucket of biofuel. There's other options here. We can do a compression dynamo, and it doesn't say how much RF per tick this makes, but I assume the compression dynamo works very similar to our magmatic ones down here. So we are currently doing 375 RF per tick with 6 of these things. And then we also have another upgrade that we can do for this, and we can put in more of the output upgrades, augments. So I think that might be an option for us to check out. But anyway, let's start at the very beginning. I'm going to make those garden cloches. We'll make the auto crafting, and let's start producing cotton seeds. All right, so I made 5 garden cloches. We have just a leadstone flux duct and a flux point here in order to provide these things power. But again, these things do require water in order to function. We don't have a good supply of water to provide to these things just yet. And yeah, so last episode we set up the compacting drawers over here. We're on the complete opposite side of our lower portion of the base. So yeah, we gotta figure out water. Now, the way we've been getting water this entire time for our other garden cloche and other things that require it is using this pitcher plant water setup over here, which is pretty good, but it is kind of noisy. And it requires our mechanical user to constantly be trying to put water into this drum here to keep this thing full. And this has served us pretty well, but you can, hear that it's constantly like filling up and doing things. So it gets an empty bucket, right clicks on the pitcher plant, and then puts the full bucket back over into this guy to put into our drum, right? I think there's probably better ways of getting water at this point, but for early game, this was really, really good. Now, I was kind of looking just a second ago at water. If we search for water, there's a bunch of different things that show up here. I think there was on page 2, this infinite water source from Overloaded. Now, this doesn't look like it's super, well, actually, I guess it's a little bit more expensive than I thought at first glance. So it does require per blocks. It does require reinforced glass that's witherproof, which is obsidian plus dirty glass from Tiny Progressions. Dirty glass is regular glass plus soul sand. So I think this might be a good way for us to give water. I haven't had a chance to try this yet to see if this works very well or not. But yeah, I think that'll be a thing that we should take a look at. Maybe we can upgrade our other water system to something like this as well. So let's see if we can craft one of these infinite water sources. So we need dirty glass first of all. Let's make some of those. Then we will make the reinforced glass, which is obsidian plus that dirty glass. Let's make a few of those. And then, do we have purpur in here? It does not look like we have obtained purpur. And then we also need these slime crystals, which is just a slimy sand. That's pretty easy for us to craft. So let's just go and make some of those. We might have to make a run to the end here. Do that. There we go. And slime crystals get very easy. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. So, purpur, do we have chorus? Purpur, we don't have any of that stuff. So I guess what we should do, we should head to the end. How are we doing on this fuel? Dawnstone. Yeah, we should go to the end. We should go collect ourselves a little bit of purpur. And then we should be able to complete this whole process. So that's the next step. Let's go find ourselves an end city. All right, so I just made it back from the end. Got a bunch of purpur blocks. I killed some shulkers while I was there. I think we got another extra heart. Got some shulker shells and some random armor. The shulker pearl things. All right, we should be able to make this infinite water source thing now. So there it is. So there, well, I guess we can make more than one if we wanted to. So I don't know. Does this thing do exactly what it says it should? It says infinite on it, which is kind of cool. Infinite water. I like it. So if I right click, I get a bucket. If I right click the bucket, nothing happens. So I guess the other question is, do we just pump fluid out of there? So let's do like a fluid duct. Hardened fluid duct, servo. Let's see. Does this push water? Do we need to pull it out? It looks like it does not push water. So if we do this and ignored. Oh, there we go. All right. So yes, we do have a way to get ourselves infinite water now, which is awesome. Okay, so since we have the fluid, oh, I have 5 of them on us. We don't need anything else. I was gonna say, I think I need to grab a few more of those. All right, so let's go set up our infinite water supply over here. I think in the back is where it requires the water. I can't remember how this thing works. All right, so water, 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 water. And then we need the servo. Like so, and ignored. And now all of these things should have water and they should start doing stuff, right? Oh yeah, they're all growing. Very, very good. Okay. Blood moon is rising. I don't think we have to worry about that though. So the other thing that I'm kind of curious about, yeah, so check that out. We get 4 per harvest. Are we gonna need to worry about fertilizer? If we get 4 cotton seed, essentially, remember the cotton turns into the seed. So if we get 4 cotton seed per harvest, are we going to have to worry about fertilizing this stuff at all? I don't know. Okay, well, the next step is we need to start pulling all these items out, have the cotton itself go into some kind of an auto crafting setup, and have all the seeds and stuff go into like one central location. Then we need to have those seeds start going into the biofuel reactor or bioreactor, whatever it's called. Biofuel generator. No, let's see. How do we make this? That is the bioreactor. Cool. All right, so let's make some of these. We'll start figuring out the auto crafting for this, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, so this is our current setup that we have going on right now. So as we saw before, we have our garden cloches here. They are producing our cotton, right? So all the stuff that the cloches are making are being pushed into these pipes here. So all that stuff is going into the mechanical crafter or into our basic drawer over here. So the basic drawer is set up to only accept the cotton seeds. So either they get pushed out over here or a resident retriever requests them. The seeds and the cotton can go into the auto crafter here, which we could prevent if we put a filter on this thing to only allow the cotton in. But then if we wanted to pull the cotton seeds out, we'd have to worry about that. So anyway, I think it's going to be just fine. So yeah, the cotton and the seeds can go into here. The cotton gets converted into the seed and the retriever will pull those items out and then into the basic drawer. So we are collecting a surplus of cotton seeds at the moment, which, you know, is not to be, it's pretty expected they would be getting more than what we're using right now. So now we have 5 bioreactors here. We are pushing those seeds out and into all of these things. Now, each one of these can only hold 16 of each type of seed, apparently. I do have 2 of the speed upgrades in here, speed upgrade 1 and speed upgrade 2. So we are currently drawing 23 RF per tick to turn the seed into 80 millibuckets of biofuel. And we're doing that 5 times over. So this is how fast we are currently generating biofuel. It's not that great, is it? I feel like we probably will have to try different seeds and try and get multiple of these things hooked up. Maybe scaling this up to 5 bioreactors wasn't a good idea. Maybe we should have 5 different types, or I guess up to like 9 different types of seeds going into here and then get more per output. I don't know. It said that the output was 180 if we did maximum percentage, right? I don't know if that is 180 per workload or was it 160? Let's actually take a look. We go to uses, go to the bioreactor. Maximum 160 millibuckets per item. So I don't know if we have more items in here, does it go faster? Or is it just use less or just generate more biofuel per? I honestly don't know if trying to be more efficient is going to be better or not. But we are going to be able to start using this biofuel in different things. The other question is, how fast does it use the biofuel? Is this fast enough? I guess that's going to be the next question. So I guess we should make ourselves a dynamo. I think we are going to go the dynamo route at this point. Let's do it. Biofuel. What was it that we need to make? The compression dynamo. And I think that does require water too, doesn't it? For like coolant? Let's try and make a compression dynamo. Let's just see. So we need a silver gear, or a silver transmission coil, I mean, and then 2 tin gears. So we need 8 tin in our gear compressor compactor. All right, so we should be able to make those very, very quickly, and then we should be able to see how much fuel, at least at the very basic version of this thing, will it be using. So put those in there and make this guy. Okay, so there is a compression dynamo. Yeah, that does require some kind of a coolant. And this does 30 RF per tick at the base. Okay, so we want to get the upgrades. Do we have any more thermal upgrades in here? Let's take a look. We had like the resonant conversion kits. Here we go. Let's just slap one of those on there. So that is upgraded. So that does 90 RF per tick. We can put in a bunch of augments in here. So if we do thermal augment. Now, do we have one in here for the compression dynamo itself? Dynamos increase efficiency, output. Is there one specifically for a boiler conversion? Converts an applicable dynamo into a steam boiler. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't think I knew about that one. Steam dynamo, compression dynamo specialization. Coolant is no longer consumed for operation. Well, that doesn't really matter since we have like infinite water, right? Yeah, I think we could probably do something better than that. So this one requires refined fuel only. So I think the only things that we're going to be able to put in there, wait, what is this one? That's reactant dynamo, are probably going to be the fuel catalyzer for fuel efficiency and the increased output. So I guess these are the ones that we're going to want to make here. So for the, let's just make, I guess, 4 of each, and then we'll see how this all works. So there's 4 of those. Let's make this, and then 4 of these. That is the increased output. Wait, did I do that? No, I already did that one. We need this one. Efficiency. Okay, so now we have the efficiency and the other one. All right, so let's bring this guy kind of over towards our biofuel and just kind of see what we can do over here. I'm kind of curious how fast it's going to be using the power and this kind of stuff. Or I'm sorry, how fast it's going to be using the biofuel. So let's set that down here. Let's just put in, how about all output? So that's 450 RF per tick. Okay, so if we were to start extracting that out, does that, oh, that's an item duct. And that's a block, that wasn't the pipe. All right, so harden fluid ducts, we do this. And then we are also gonna need water over here. Can I pull water all the way over here? Maybe if I use both of these things. This is kind of a janky setup. This will just be temporary. Oh no, that's a problem. Ah, oh boy. Okay, well, I just messed everything up here. That's fine. We'll just let those bioreactors do what they're doing. Okay, so we are getting water in here now. So let's get our biofuel in here. That is a retriever, isn't it? That is not the servo. And servo. Okay, so do that. So now we have biofuel. Let's get rid of that guy. We just lost a little bit. It's fine, though. So it is using biofuel about 100 millibuckets every 5 seconds. About. Does it say anywhere on here like how fast it uses this stuff? It doesn't, does it? Okay. Well, we are producing a decent amount of power, but yeah, I think we are going to have to ramp up our situation here. I don't think this is going, I really don't think this is going to work the way that I need it to with the amount of power that I want to generate running just off of these cotton seeds. All right, so I guess the next thing is I will look at getting different types of Pam's Harvest Craft seeds where we can do the same kind of a thing, use more of these mechanical crafters, and convert the other product into seed to put into these bioreactors. We might scale down the amount of bioreactors we are using. It really depends on how much seeds we can produce and how well these things keep up and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, let me spend a little bit more time here, see if we can make something a little bit more efficient, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, it turns out that having multiple seeds really is better. I didn't know how these machines worked before. I think these work a little bit differently than the MFR variant, but pretty much what's going on now. You can see the efficiency is at 50%. We're producing 120 millibuckets per item. So it takes 120 times the amount of seeds that you have in here, and it generates that every single work cycle. This I didn't know. I thought I was going to do, 120 here, then 120 here, and just like use less seeds overall. But no, it produces way more fuel. So we just have the one bioreactor going here, and then we can see that we are generating quite a bit of fuel now. The biofuel every single time this one goes. Actually, these have stuff in them for some reason. That's actually a mistake. But yeah, they are still receiving some things here. I should probably make sure all of that's turned off. But yeah, for overall though, with one of those going that is constantly receiving seeds all the time, that is making a decent amount of biofuel. Now, if we had more of these things set up, we had more different types in here, we could obviously get a lot more biofuel every single time. And I think that's probably going to end up being worth it. So yeah, making a whole bunch of these was a mistake, and I definitely won't be doing that again. I don't understand why we're still receiving seeds over here. Why is that happening? Those numbers are still going up, but we don't have anything on here that's like pushing the seeds into the pipe. We have a resonant retriever, which is taking the items out of the drawers and filling this up every time. But why is this one still going? I don't know. Is that some kind of a bug? If I take those out, does that refill? I'm confused on what's going on with this bioreactor here. Okay, well, it's still getting seeds somehow. I don't know why. Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe this retriever right here is pulling too many. Maybe if we turn that down to like one at a time. Maybe it's pulling like a full stack and those items are bouncing around those pipes, so then like the leftovers go over here. I honestly don't know. Yeah, that's really weird how it's doing that, isn't it? Huh. Anyway, so I'll figure that out. Definitely, I'm going to look at getting a few more of these Pam's Harvest Craft things. I think we should have enough for 9 separate types here. I didn't want to do the whole thing until I knew for sure how these machines work. But yeah, definitely getting all of these filled out. So I'll make 4 more garden cloches here. We'll have a full 9 of these things. Yeah, and then we'll be back, guys. Okay, here we go, guys. So instead of using the compression dynamo, which is going to be rather expensive, it's going to use a lot of Enderium and Signalum and etc. in order to get all of these things upgraded. Plus, then we need to do all these augments. I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and do the biofuel generators. It did say in the book that the biofuel generators, you can run about 28 of those off of one of these bioreactors. So we have 27 of them here, since that's 3 times 9, and each one of these platforms is 9 long. It just felt like it made more sense. So yeah, we went ahead and we did 27 of those. So we should be getting a surplus of the biofuel. Also, we have the one bioreactor here with the speed upgrades that are making this stuff all the time, but we were getting a surplus of seeds. So I didn't know how many more of these bioreactors we needed, so I added in one more here. So this one does not have the speed upgrades in it, but it is still making biofuel. So we're getting twice the amount. This one's just going a little bit faster. So we are making a lot of biofuel right now. So we should be able to essentially double the amount of bioreactors, or I'm sorry, the biofuel generators we have when this is all said and done. But I wanted to see this thing working. I did some calculations here, and with these biofuel reactors, which do look like they can accept the speed upgrades, but we're not using it with the speed upgrades, we should be making 4,320 RF per tick off the biofuel using that. Currently, with our lava generators, we're making 2200 RF per tick. So this should essentially double the amount of power. Well, I guess triple the amount of power that we're making. So it should be pretty good. I'm hoping with this, we should be able to run our quarry full blast. I don't know if that's true or not. If we will be able to or not, we'll find out. But anyway, I haven't tried this yet. And yeah, I think I mentioned that I upgraded all of the flux ducts to the redstone energy flux ducts. We were using the leadstone ones, which have a connection of only 1000 RF per tick. That's per connection. So if we wanted to take all the power from here, we'd have to do multiple connections onto something like the wireless RF thing. We'd have to touch multiple sides of that. I just felt like it'd be better if we were just using the redstone energy flux duct, which has a 9000 RF per tick per connection. It just makes more sense. So yeah, I went ahead and replaced all of the wiring that we had with the leadstone. Actually, there might be a few connections up there, but all of our main power wiring has been changed to the redstone variant. Okay, so we should be good to go. Let's turn this thing on. We're going to be slurping down a whole lot of this biofuel as each one of these tanks are full. That's 8 times 27 buckets worth, so it's quite a lot of what we're going to be pumping in there. So let's go ahead and start draining all the biofuel out. We will start turning all of our bioreactors on. It looks like we are storing energy. Do I have to set a thing? Energy, top. No, we're just not using the power right now. I do have the quarry turned off. With the quarry running, we were not able to keep up with all the power and stuff with what I was doing. So yeah, anyway, we should be good to go now. We'll let all these things fill up. I think each one of these, I guess we can look at the tooltip. Yeah, each one of these has biofuel in it, which means all of them are active. So we're now making an additional 4,320 RF per tick. So now that we have that going, let's go turn on our quarry, which is out here. Looks like it's sunset. We should be okay. Yeah, I want to go turn on the quarry and see if we can run this thing non-stop. Hopefully we will be able to. And if not, we're going to be able to run it 3 times faster than what we were before. So should be still pretty good at our resource gathering over here. So nope, we are still dropping power. Look at that. That just eats so much power. I wonder what the requirement for this thing is. That's even with it infused 100%. Oh man. But it is pretty quick, isn't it? We are gathering resources really, really quickly. Okay. Well, probably not going to be until we get into big reactors and we start making tens of thousands of RF, or I guess extreme reactors, will we be able to let this thing run without any problems. Also, I guess another thing we could look at is how our flux transmitter thing is attached. I think it's attached to one of the immersive engineering power storage cells, and I don't know what the maximum RF transfer is on one of those. So I guess the real way to see if we are not keeping up on power is if our main flux duct line is running low. This thing down here, this is staying full, and these are still gaining power. So I think our bottleneck is probably over here. Yeah, up. Okay, well let's take a look at it over here. Let's come up. Let's grab this guy. Yeah, so this guy right here is pulling power off this MV capacitor. This is probably what's limiting our power then. Looks like that is pretty much staying full of power. I think, well, no, we are grabbing power off this main line too. Oh, and that line is now running low. Is this set to ignore limit? It is. So why were we keeping power before and now we're not? I'm not entirely sure. Is all of the power lines down here draining? Yes. And these things are not keeping power anymore. We must have had some kind of a weird power buffer stored up somewhere that I was draining the power out of. But yeah, we definitely are not keeping up with power with that quarry going. But it's better. It should be a lot better. We should be collecting our resources way faster, which is good. And then we don't have to have this thing running all of the time, But yeah, we're definitely doing some good stuff here. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here for today. Definitely a good thing that we got all of that extra power going. We will be looking at better power sources a little bit later. There is extreme reactors in here. I think we will be able to look at like Yellorium plants, mystical agriculture stuff to keep that running. Definitely something we will be looking at. I keep saying the word definitely, don't I? Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.